Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. So our job here isn't to get philosophical and religious about where to put money into that technology and mess it up. It is our job to make the most of the chance as much as possible. Which brings up the question of how much risk it is worth. Max 10 risk, because a lot of people go, like, no. It doesn't need to be max risk if it's going for 2.5 trillion or 100 trillion. Only draw the main part and a small part of the tail on the side. At the moment, 90% of my liquid net worth is going to Solana. I moved some from ETH. I don't have a lot of Bitcoin at the moment. That doesn't mean I don't like Bitcoin. Just now, I think I have another thesis idea. After that, I do some guesswork and other things. I can see why the time span thing scares everyone though. I took a step back, and it was only in the last 2 weeks that I realized what's really going on crypto Twitter. This is why the banana zone is so popular and why you get so much backlash. It's everyone's hopes and dreams. It's mine, yours, and everyone else's. They want it to go well so badly but are afraid it will go wrong. This is the problem that everyone is having, and some people have PTSD from the last cycle, just like they did from the cycle before that. In the last cycle, there was a blow-off top and then a crash. This one had a top that was too short and then fell down. People are now worried about the cycle. Jeff Bezos didn't seem to care about the business cycle. He had just bought stock. There is a desire for the good you make during a secular bull market. In this case, the good is premium block space, so why the fuck are you trading it? You should buy everything that is being sold off. You're all for it if it drops 85%. I was also a macro cyclical person, so it took me a long time to figure that out. And I think, let's sell it at the top. I think I have a good idea of what the tops will be based on the everything code cycle and other normal stuff, but does it really matter? As a 30-year-old, sure, fine, you might want a house. There you have it, lifestyle chips. Okay, fine, you won't put the same amount of money back in at the low down 85% when everyone is calling you a thief if you've made a lot of money and taken it off at the high and nailed it. They are going to kill everyone who works with crypto. Investors in cryptocurrencies are going to go to jail. You say, I'm not going to do it, you will mess up everything in the end. People worry a lot about where the top comes from, which is another thing I talked to Chris Boniski about. Is it already early? Is that okay? Since then, it's always been December. But now everyone is scared that it will be a different month. Okay, fine, that's because of PTSD, but I do know we're not sure, we don't know. It's going to have a bubble top. It doesn't matter. What scares me is what will happen if the adjustment is made in 2026, since we don't have 22. Huge prices and the pandemic stuff aren't beating it out of us. Just think about what would happen if Bitcoin went down 40% and NASDAQ went down 20%. I think this is my favorite chance. Yes, a lot of alts will drop by 99%. Bitcoin is all I'm talking about. Everyone will miss the move because they are all looking forward to the down 70. The current downward trend in Bitcoin prices is in line with what experts at 10x Research think could be the lowest price goal for BTC. They would say that this sharp drop might just be the start, and that Bitcoin could go down even more to $50,000. Moving from the psychological level of $60,000 to $50,000 shows a big change in how people feel about the market. 10x Research says this is because buyers are pulling back while sellers are speeding up their moves. Marcus Thielen, an analyst at 10x Research, says that the downward trend was likely to happen because our data from early June already hinted at an overbought market ready for correction on June 24th. Thielen shared the following chart, which showed that Bitcoin was expected to break out of its holding range and fall towards $50,000. He did this by saying that a double top pattern might come true. When the price hits two peaks that are very close to each other, with a small drop in between, and stays above a common line called the neckline, this is called a double top pattern. When the price drops below the neckline, this pattern usually ends. The price could fall by an amount equal to the distance between the peaks and the neckline. We've seen over the last 3 months that range trading is a tricky stage that is often marked by several false breaks. On top of that, Thielen wrote, topping formations have historically left the average retail investor vulnerable. With many altcoins experiencing big drops, founder of Anand Capital Michael Van de Poppy, on the other hand, thinks Bitcoin will fall even more than Thielen does. Van de Poppy thinks Bitcoin will drop to $52,809 after breaking below the low point set on May 1st at $56,000. This will allow the demand side to collect the liquidity that is sitting under it. From a technical point of view, The Bitcoin price action has created a classic bear flag pattern. This is a bearish continuation setting that happens when the price settles in an upward sloping range after a sharp drop. Bear flags usually go away when the price breaks below the lower trend line and falls as far as the peak of the last downturn. The price of Bitcoin should not go below $49,200, which was last seen on February 12th. Bitcoin's daily relative strength measure is also too low at 29. This explains how strong the current sell-off is, which increases BTC's chances of hitting its bear flag target. That's what I mean. In a stable bull market, there are only two assets: technology and crypto, or maybe crypto technology. The number goes up the most. We've lived through the time when technology changed the fastest in recorded history. We just made people smarter than ever before, up to the power of whatever. We have no idea what the power of what is. 10 times 10 times 100. Robots have just taken the place of people. We can change the human gene and have cars that drive themselves. We only have La La Land and the book of sci-fi stories going on. These are businesses that sell things. They're not even being talked about anymore. These are actually taking place. Even so, some people still want to buy old things. Because, well, it's cheap here. You worry about what you might be missing. Are you sure that no one cares about your gold mine? Really, just because things are going well now doesn't mean that all of these stocks will keep going up. That doesn't mean they don't have bubbles. That's not it. But in a world with a lot of correlation, if you have to pick an asset, pick the one that does the best. No matter if you trade crypto or not, if you don't own technology, you're not helping yourself. Now I can hear folks saying, well, he's just a bubble, everything is a bubble. You need real money coming in and going out. It's like, yeah, look what happened with Google, Facebook, and Amazon. I mean, it's all a mid-curve. I don't mean that as an insult. We've all been there. It's like, stop hearing the monkey sounds in your head once you break it all down. Get rid of all the Twitter noise. What does it mean? Is tomorrow more digital than today? Yes and no. If yes, keep going. It's really that easy. Tomorrow there will be more technology in the world. That's it. What should you do if you do have a bubble cycle and then a crash? More tech should be bought. Why? Because it will be more digital tomorrow than it is now. It's really tough. I've really boiled it down to the simplest argument possible. It is also embarrassing. It makes me feel bad that guys are more interested in them. Like I've already done it. It's been 35 years of hard work on this. I believe I am correct. We'll see though. In its first big move since May, the now defunct Japanese cryptocurrency exchange Magax sent 47,229 Bitcoin to a new wallet address. These Bitcoin are worth $2.71 billion at the moment. Arkham Intelligence, a blockchain analytics tool, says that the exchange moved the Bitcoin out of cold storage at 12:30 a.m. UTC on July 5th. The move comes as the